welcome back to our channel. My name is Ruth, and in today's video, I'd like to share with you how to stay focused. 7 things you must do in order to stay focused. Number 1, you must be clear on your goals and your visions. Now, if your goals and your visions are vague, it is hard to stay focused. You'll be thinking, well, what am I doing? Am I even doing the right thing? Where am I going? But if your goals are very, very clear, you'll be able to stay focused toward that goal. You know, it's almost like driving. You know, can you imagine driving in a rainy day and it's raining heavily and your windscreen wiper is maxed out and you couldn't actually see where you're going? And that's going to slow you down. It's going to begin to create doubt. You might want to pull over and you're thinking, my goodness, am I going to hurt someone? Am I going to hurt myself? And you might be delayed even in getting to the destination because everyone's slowing down because no one can see where they're going. So in the same way, in our life, if we want to actually stay focused, we need to actually be able to see clearly. So you need to actually have a clear goal and say, this is what I want. This is the end result. And if you don't have that just yet, it's time for you to make time and start thinking about what the end goal is. You could grab a piece of paper with a pen and just draw or write different words and say, okay, well, consolidate your plan and go, this is the intended goal that I wish to achieve. So that's number 1. Number 2, the second thing you must do in order to stay focused is you must learn to say no. Okay, I'm not saying that you should say no to every single thing, but it's time for you to actually reevaluate your life. You know, a lot of us might be people pleaser. I'm a people pleaser. I don't want to offend anybody. So when someone says, can you catch up? Can we catch up? Can we do this together? I'm inclined to say yes, 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 until I'm completely drained and have completely no time for myself and no time to work on my goals. I have learned my lesson, trust me. But it's time for us to actually reevaluate, look at our social life, if you have a social life, that is. If you don't already, if you don't actually have a social life and you're very focused, then that's fine. But let's say if you're catching up with, say, 3 different friends or 5 friends a week, and you're spending about 2-3 hours with each friend, you might want to reduce that and say, well, is it okay if we catch up, once a fortnight or once a month? Or reduce your catch-up time to an hour so that you can dedicate the other hour to actually work on your goals. So it could be that your goal is to start a home-based business, or you want to start a baking business, or you want to grow your business, or you want to actually learn a musical instrument, etc. Whatever it might be, it is a valid goal. So learn to say no. According to Steve Jobs, it is only by saying no that you can concentrate on the things that are really important. Now, Warren Buffett puts it this way: the difference between successful people and really successful people, he says, is that really successful people say no to almost everything. So the key word here is really successful people. And some of you, well, I believe all of you probably know who Warren Buffett is. He's one of the most successful people, very, very wealthy, and has accomplished much. And he is a really successful person, isn't he? So I would definitely take heed to what he's got to say. And that is really successful people say no to almost everything. Number 3, plan your day, plan your week, plan your month, and plan your year. Yes, if you fail to plan, there's a saying, it says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You know, there's a time to work, there's a time to play, right? So it's so important that you look at your diary and go, you know what do I want to accomplish this week? What do I want to accomplish this month? What do I want to accomplish this year? And actually have a long-term and short-term goal, and make sure you actually put your most important task in your diary. It is really, really important that you plan, because if you don't actually schedule in what's important to you, time is just going to fly by and you're going to go, well, what happened today? I don't know what happened. Whereas if you plan your day, you keep yourself accountable and you work on those dreams. And you know what? Many a times, dreams doesn't get accomplished, success doesn't just come by because you work very hard one day. It is all by consistency. You need to work little by little, and then in time, you'll begin to see success. Consistency is the key to success. Number 4, you need to be able to distinguish and plan long-term versus short-term goals so that you're not overwhelmed. Now, it is very important that we actually see, well, what do we want to accomplish in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, and then look at the short-term goals and say, what can I do now to achieve that dream in 12 months' time, or in 5 years' time, or in 10 years' time. So personally, I actually have long-term goals which are a lot more vague. My long-term goals are like, well, this is what I want to accomplish in 5 years' time. This is what I want to accomplish in 10 years' time. So it might be a little bit more vague, and it has got the big picture. But every single year, before the year starts, or just at the start of the year, I actually look at what I want to accomplish in the next 12 months, and I plan, and actually plan, well, in the next 3 months, this is what I'm going to do to achieve this goal. In the next 6 months, this is what I'm going to do. And then I narrow it down, and I go, well, in this week, I'm going to do this task, and I'm going to schedule in the day. So I'm not just going to say, well, I can do it any day, because if you say that, it never gets done. So you need to schedule it in and say, well, I'm going to do it from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. that night. For example, I currently work, I'm a partner in a law firm. I'm busy throughout the day. I've got client consultations, etc. But I've got other dreams that I want to work on. For example, my YouTube channel. So what I'll do is, well, I'll say, well, in the evening between 5 to 7, I'm going to write my script, I'm going to plan, and then between this time to this time on certain nights, I'm going to actually do the recording, etc. But then there might be other nights where I'm busy, whether it's a family night, or I'm volunteering in a community center or a church organization. So you need to allocate time for every single task if you want to achieve your dreams. Number 5, do your most important task first. Now, some of you would have heard of the saying, eat your frog. And I'm not sure if you've heard of Brian Tracy. Brian Tracy is an amazing success speaker, and he actually wrote a book on eating your frog, right? But apparently, the original saying came from Mark Twain. So there's a saying that goes something like this. If your job is to eat a frog, then eat it first thing in the morning. If your job is to eat 2 frogs, then eat the ugliest frog first. What does it mean? What it means is that if you have a task to do that day, it's the most important task, and it's the most difficult task, get that out of the way first. Do the most important task first. And I actually find this very empowering, even in my legal career, because when I get into the law firm and I'm starting to look at my emails, and I've got, let's say, an application to lodge, a submission to write, a legal research to do, I always look at what's the most important task of the day, the most urgent, and the most difficult, the thing that I hate the most, right? So what I'll do is I will just sort of calm myself down and say, okay, I'm just going to perform this task, and I'm not going to do anything else apart from this task, and I'm going to finish it. So once I've accomplished that task, guess what? I move on to the next most important task, and then I move on to the next one and the next one. And by the end of the day, I feel like, you know what, I've accomplished a lot because I've actually dealt with the most important thing, and it's out of my mind. I'm not worried about it anymore, and it empowers me to actually work on the easier task, and the easier task actually becomes even easier because my brain has now been trained to actually deal with the most difficult thing, right, before I deal with the easier tasks. So I would actually recommend that you do the same, whether it's in your business, in your personal lives, whatever that is the most important task, do it first, and the most difficult task, do it first. Next, number 6. Well, if you want to stay focused, this might sound really, really simple, believe it or not, but billionaires apparently have the same habit. They all eat and sleep well. So that's the 6th thing. The 6th thing you must do if you want to stay focused is you need to look after yourself, okay? Make sure you have time to exercise. Make sure you have time to prepare your meals, or at least pick, a nice salad, have your fruits, nice protein, lean protein, etc. And make sure you get enough sleep as well, because your mind is only as sharp as your body. If you want your mind to work well, you need to look after your body. And you might want to consider reducing on caffeine and Coke, etc. And finally, the seventh thing, you must know when to work and when to play, and schedule in for break time. Now, every night I personally have a break time. Now, I'm a bit of a trooper. I actually keep going throughout the day, and I understand that some people will have a nap during the day, or they might have a break during the day. As much as possible, I try to, but I don't always get that because of my really busy schedule. But what I try and do is every evening after I've done everything, I try and actually have a time to myself, like whether it's half an hour to an hour. Usually I need about an hour or two to actually wind down. I'll actually try and really enjoy my meal, and that's like my reward. I'll watch a nice TV show to just really wind down and not really think about anything. Now, for you, it might be going into the bathtub. For example, I've got a friend, she says she only needs 10 minutes every day in the bath, you know, away from everybody, and she'll be okay. So it might be different for you, but make sure you schedule time to actually have that mental health so that you can look after yourself. So, because if you look after yourself, you'll be more effective in looking after others. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. And last but not least, would you be so kind to actually hit the like and subscribe button? It's gonna mean the world to me, and we'll be able to send you messages and notifications to keep you motivated in your goal to success. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.